Hey, how you know, guys? Okay, all these references on this table, okay, pertain to all the sites. So, what's going on? At the beginning of I guess stories, there was a story about an observation where a stone was stopped and kept from rolling downhill by a leaf. Okay, this is one of our references, which means we need to have a divot in here, okay, to hold our rolling stone. Okay, so that way, right, at some point in time, it's still gonna pull out. But apparently, with a leaf, okay, and when it's pressed in to that leaf by the weight, okay, sorry guys, I keep going in and out of frame, okay, so you're going to wind up pressing it into your V-divot, okay, as the weight becomes more and more and the heat gets onto the leaf, it's going to slowly form around the stone, okay, and it will keep it in place, okay, because we want to use this as a starting board. Over here, okay, we already have it set up. Okay, now this is a transfer process, so we need to start on a piece of wood, okay. There we go. We need to center our piece of wood. Now, the sites, okay, that we see, even though they have quite a lot of stone around, they're not circle yet. Okay, the reason why they're not circle yet is they don't have all of the components symmetrical around the site. So the site is going to become oblong, elliptical as it moves and squeezes on the stones to reduce the size of them to allow new stones in from the perimeter to take up a spot in the lineup only when they're all the same size, okay? Then the next stone can actually run in or fit in to the assembly. But see, right now it just wants to push them out, right? The other marbles out. We don't want that to happen, so we want wear on all of these in here to be the same. Okay, so as it goes around, it's because it's elliptical, it's going to give us a nice swirling pattern down below as it sets up all these next pieces. Okay, now go back to Tappy is a lot more advanced than this site. Okay, mostly because we have to start from pretty much the beginning to kind of catch up to them. Now I'm going to take some steps to bypass a lot of that. I'm going to use some old dog bones as part of the building materials for the structure. I figure it might look pretty in contrast, okay? So I'm going to try and find some stuff that's contrasting the other materials. So hopefully each time I give a little lift and give you a little peek as to what's going on, everything stays put and nothing moves, okay? At some point I will be able to add water onto this because of the information being transferred to the other stones and the surrounding stones, okay? As I said, it's a transfer process, so we're transferring some information onto the above plate, okay? We're going to assume that we've already got a plate. The plate's rolled down and into position or been separated and lifted up, okay? So now it's got all its cutting debris in below, in between the top and bottom plate. We can make a transfer from this, okay, for our first inner and outer ring for our divine mount, okay? It's very important to get certain features nailed down pat, or else it's not going to work. One of them is the wave. It's got to come around and do the wave. Okay? That wave is very important, especially in stone. So I want to make sure that all these patterns are worn in to the surface of this board. Once it's worn into the surface of this board, it can be worn into the next piece of stone that's above ground. But here's the trick. I have to keep track of every piece of building material that goes in, and that's being shaped, okay? Both in this one circle and any additional circles that I may decide to build into it, okay? At some point in time, we're gonna wind up with this much information, okay, swirling around this one site, okay? And its only job that I'm gonna train it to do is to go up and down, okay? As this is going to be watertight, and kind of like an airbag, a very big stone airbag, as indicated here, it's going to be not a daunting task, but it's going to be an interesting task on how I'm going to do the routing for the smaller stones, okay, to help rotate those other pieces, which is very important to learn how to weave holes in through stone, because one piece of stone is going to line up to the next piece of stone, and the holes either align or they don't. If they don't, it goes to a pinch process, okay, where pieces get nipped out. Now, do we want pieces nipped out? No, not yet, because it's wood, so we want to transfer this to stone first, and then start driving debris up into those cracks. Anyways, how you know, guys? A lot of engineering work and a lot of millennia went into these things. They should be studied first on a board before they're excavated. Anyways, how you know, guys? Have a good day.